Hello, Emmanuel Shachaf.
Hello, hello.
Identity, trying to reach a better solution from Israel. You're coming back from Europe. What exactly was the process of publishing there for the new coming book?
We sat together in a little chalet in the woods in the Ardennes Mountains in Belgium, and together
Emmanuel
with Taysir Abu Saada, my Palestinian partner, and Gerhard Reichsen, the Dutch editor, we sat together and worked on the book.
Share with me what was the process of publishing this new coming book.
It's going to be published. It's not published yet. First, I have to write it. We basically sat down based on the chapters that I provided in the beginning.
Which is the plan of the federation.
The federation plan. Gerhard interviewed us and recorded our responses to each and every chapter, and that response was recorded and then transliterated into text, transcribed into text, and the text was put into the draft to be worked on when everything has been gathered together. So we were working for a whole week, between 4 and 8 sessions of 45 minutes to 1 hour every day, and I hope the product is worthy.
I'm sure it is. If you would have, together with Tas Abu Saada and Gerhard, the time to share the book, for instance, with Chuck Schumer, what would you tell him?
Well, first of all, Chuck Schumer, in a big surprise, he didn't only call for elections in Israel, which is what got all the media wild here in Israel. He also mentioned the fact that there's a lot of support among young Americans for the one-state solution. And that was completely missed or purposely not broadcast by the media in Israel. And that's a very far-reaching step. Although he said, of course, right away that he's not supporting the one-state solution, but he mentioned it. And by raising it and discussing it, he basically sent a signal. Okay, he sent the signal, guys, if you don't go for the two-state solution, this is what's in waiting for you. Okay, this is what I've been saying for a long time. Let's speak about an alternative. Okay, because even if you want the two-state solution, that's the way to go. Now, if people see that the one-state solution is coming up, maybe they'll go to the two-state solution, which of course I'm not in favor of. But the fact that the one-state solution is on the agenda gives us an entry point to push our federation proposal also among the American jury.
Because Chuck Schumer basically is implementing and saying to the audience, to the progressive side of the Democratic government or party, hey, I hear you.
Yes, he hears them. He gives them credibility, and because I understand that there's such a demand. I don't support this demand, but I have to take it into consideration. And that's quite exceptional for somebody who's on the right side of the Democratic Party, from the center of the Jewish establishment in America.
What do you think about what is happening? Who is winning, who is losing in what is happening in the Gaza Strip regarding the last actions of the IDF in Shifa Hospital?
We're winning little and losing big.
Wow.
We're winning small tactical victories in the Gaza Strip here and there, but because we don't have a long-term plan and no long-term vision, it all gets lost. Because the moment you get to the Shifa Hospital and conquer it, and then we go out again, somebody else comes in. As long as we don't make sure something else comes there to stay, this is going to happen again and again. And we have a long-term problem with long-term visions and long-term plans. We just don't have them. That's why we got into this situation in the first place.
So basically, when the IDF forces and the special units of the Israeli army are getting back to Shifa after they conquered Shifa a few weeks or a short month ago, and yet they're fighting against resilience of Hamas terrorists, it means that
they have to do it again and again. If we don't stay there, or you don't put somebody else there instead of Hamas or instead of us, they're going to come back and again and again.
But any long-term solution will demolish the coalition of Benjamin Netanyahu. He won't be. There are going to be elections, and he's saying, well, elections now means that Sinwar wins.
Well, let's face it. The issue has always been what's the long-term plan for Israel vis-a-vis the Palestinians, and avoiding that for so many years has gotten us what happened on the 7th of October. Okay, so we're just continuing the pain. We're just going to continue to suffer as long as we don't deal with this issue in some kind of long-term plan.
And when generals in the Israeli army are facing towards the leaders, the political leaders, what kind of issue would that reflect?
Well, first of all, the army without a long-term vision, without a long-term plan by the politicians, is just going around and in circles and repeating what it has done. If the army doesn't know where this is all going to end, they're just going to get more and more problematic, and there's going to be a breakdown. There already is a breakdown in army discipline, because they don't know what's in store for them. They don't want to just hang around, because they get a lot of bad publicity, some of it very rightfully so, and the whole world looks at the Israeli army as an army which is doing terrible damage to civilians mainly.
Do you think it's a breakdown in the Israeli army?
Well, it's the first. This is the beginning of a breakdown. It's the beginning of a breakdown. It's not a total breakdown yet, but there are indications.
And what could happen if no long-term solution is going to be rising? Is there any chance, for instance, for the people that were kidnapped to come back home?
I think that the chances for the kidnapped to get home is getting smaller by the day, because as long as there's no long-term vision out there for anybody to address, it's very difficult to come to terms with Hamas. Because Hamas, needs, as long as Hamas doesn't know where this is going, Hamas can't close it down, and neither can we.
Throughout the chapters of the new coming book, any solution that you would share with Benjamin Netanyahu, Benny Gantz, Gallant, Deri, the top Israeli politicians, what topic, what chapter would you tell them, take this chapter, read it deeply at home, and bring it to the new coming elections in Israel in the coming year?
I think the opening statement, which basically describes or will describe, based on what we're proposing, a federation as an alternative solution to the conflict. Although I'm afraid that the gentlemen you mentioned aren't anywhere there. They're not. Even what happened on the 7th of October will not set them straight. I'm afraid there's nobody right now in the political scene who will have an open ear.
They would say the one-state solution might end the Zionist idea and ideal as we know it. We're afraid.
We ended the Zionist idea the way we know it when we didn't give up the territories we conquered in the Six-Day War. Okay, it was clear to some people like Yeshayahu Leibovich, Professor Yeshayahu Leibovich already then, and to some others too. But it's clear now that the Zionism that we started in 1948 is not sustainable with the situation we created in 1967, where we have a very large non-Jewish population which doesn't have equal rights within the sovereignty of Israel.
And if you would share this chapter with Abu Mazen and other Palestinian leaders, do you think that they would find in their heart any place to the one-state solution for the new Israel?
It's definitely something that can that will sound agreeable to them. Not every aspect, of course, but Abu Mazen has said repeatedly that if he won't give up on the occupation, that he'll start proposing a one-state solution. And there's a lot of support the Palestinians had a one-state solution a long time ago. It's not exactly the same one-state solution that we're proposing, but it's out there. And like Chuck Schumer said in America, where there's beginning to be a lot of support among the young people, there's going to be more and more support for this in Palestine as well.
Towards the end of this report, Emanuel Shachaf, as always, some good news that you would like to reflect.
The best news is that the book is coming, is going to be ready within a few months. And I think that book will make a big difference because by then also the way the situation is developing, a one-state solution will become much more apparent to many people. I'm not sure that everybody will connect to it, and there's going to be a lot of concerns, but at least we'll discuss it, and I think the book will be a big contribution to that.
And the uniqueness of the book is the plan, the vision, and the process that you've mentioned, that two leaders, Israelis and Palestinian ones, sitting together with an editor and creating this vision together, simultaneously.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Emanuel Shachaf, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you.